The New York Jets have played surprisingly well at this point. Joe Flacco came in and did pretty good until Zach Wilson came back from injury. This team has actually got a lot of potential. It's pretty young everywhere. They've had a lot of high draft picks because they haven't been very well over the past few seasons. So whenever you don't do well in the NFL, you get high draft picks. So we got Zach Wilson in his second season. He's a 74 overall with star dev. They drafted Breece Hall in the second round. He is injured right now, so that's why they're not showing him, but he's actually been really good in real life as well. He's an 80 overall with hidden dev. We also got Michael Carter, the second running back is what I was trying to say. Corey Davis at wide receiver 1. We got Elijah Moore at wide receiver 2, coming into his second year out of Ole Miss. He still has a lot of potential. He's 80 overall with star dev. And then we got Garrett Wilson coming over, first round pick, 79 overall, hidden dev. The offensive line has Elijah Vera Tucker at right guard, and then there's also Mekhi Becton at right tackle, but he's injured right now. He's out for the whole season with a fractured kneecap, but he's actually really, really good as well. I think he has superstar dev. McGovern at center, he's basically maxed out his potential at this point, 77 overall. On the left side of the offensive line, Dwayne Brown is 37 years old, so we're going to have to replace him soon. And Laken Tomlinson, he's 80 overall with star dev, but at this point he is 30 years old, so he's going to be regressing in Madden. Once you hit 28 in Madden, you start going down. At tight end, we got Conklin and Ozuma, both in the 77 to 79 range with star dev. Defensively, this team is looking really good on the defensive line. They have a lot of high draft picks down here. I did move John Franklin Myers over to defensive tackle to make room for the defensive ends that this team has drafted. We do have Johnson, who's another first round pick. I'm going to end up making him the starter at right end and trade Carl Lawson. I know that they just signed him in free agency from the Bengals, I think. Yeah. But in order to make the best out of the players that we have on the team already, and they're younger also. Carl Lawson's like 27 at this point, so Bryce Huff is 24. Johnson is a rookie, he's 23 years old. I'm gonna make them two the starters. Trade Carl Lawson. We got Sauce Gardner, another first round pick at cornerback, 82 overall with hidden dev, rookie. We got Reed at cornerback 1, he's 82 overall with normal dev. And then Hall is a 78 overall with star dev. At safety, I actually think I'm going to make Davis the starting safety since he's way younger. LaMarcus Joyner is like 31 or 32, so he's just going to be regressing. At linebackers, they're not too terrible. CJ Mosley's pretty good, but he's up there in age as well. He's an 84 overall with star dev, but he's 30 years old, so he's going to start regressing pretty quickly. Quan Alexander, outside linebacker, he's a 75 overall with normal dev. I think he's 28 years old also, so he's basically maxed out his potential in Madden. And then Williams is 71 overall. We're definitely going to have to try to replace him. Whitehead at safety, he's coming over in free agency from Tampa Bay. He's a 78 overall with normal dev. Maybe we can get him to jump up to a star dev or something. But all in all, I think the team has a lot of young, really good players with a lot of potential. Definitely need to try to work on replacing the linebackers. Like I said, Mosley's going to be regressing. And then the offensive line, we definitely got to start trying to figure out what we're going to do on the left side. And then the main thing is trying to figure out if we're going to stick with Zach Wilson or not, see if he actually develops. I'm just going to run with the playbooks that they have default for the first season, see how things go from there, and make changes when we need to. This is what the injury report is looking like right now. Breece Hall's only out for 1 week. We saw that earlier, but Mekhi Becton has a fractured kneecap. He's out for 39 weeks, so he's going to miss the entire season. But he is 23 years old, and he does have superstar dev, 78 overall. So he's going to be a big part of the team going forward. I'm trading Carl Lawson, LaMarcus Joyner, and a third-round pick next year to get a first-round pick. It's projected to be the number 20 draft pick in the first round from the Detroit Lions. The midseason point, we are off to a not-so-great start with a 2-5 record. The Bills are leading the division with a 5-1 record. The Patriots are 4-3, and the Dolphins are 2-5. See what type of players we got to work with here. We got 41 million. We got Greg the Leg Zerline at kicker, Connor McGovern, Sheldon Rankins, George Fant, Bryce Huff. Definitely want to try to bring him back. Let me go ahead and offer him a deal right now. I want to see how he does in long term. Not negotiating on the years. All right, we're gonna have to give him a bigger offer. Quan Alexander, moving on from him. Tyrell Crosby is down to a 70. Solomon Thomas is on this team. This dude was a former first-round pick, but he's down to a 73 overall. Ty Johnson, running back. We don't need him. We already have a bunch of running backs. End of the regular season, we finished 6-11, last in the division. The Bills went 13-4, Patriots went 9-8, and the Dolphins went 8-9. See what happened here with the stats. We had the 25th ranked offense, so that's not great. Defensively, we were ranked number 23, so we got a long ways to go with this team. Zach Wilson threw for almost 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 62% completion with a 96 rating. Joe Flacco came in at one point and threw 3 touchdowns on 14 pass attempts and had a 135 rating. Rushing, Breece Hall ran for 1,200 yards, 4.2 per carry with 6 touchdowns, and Michael Carter had 3.3 per carry, 11 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson had 1,000 yards receiving with 7 touchdowns. Elijah Moore 1,000 yards with 9 touchdowns. Corey Davis almost had 1,000 with 6 touchdowns. Conklin and Uzomah at tight end both did pretty decent with almost 400 yards for Uzomah, 450 for Conklin, 1 touchdown, and Uzomah had 5. Defensively, Bryce Hall, the cornerback, led the team in tackles with 93. Bryce Huff had the most TFLs with 17. Jermaine Johnson had 15. Quentin Williams had 15, and John Franklin Myers had 12 sacks. Quentin Williams led the team with 8 from the defensive tackle spot. The rookie defensive end Johnson had 7.5. Franklin Myers had 7, and Huff only had 2.5. What the heck, man? Come on. Interceptions, Jordan Whitehead led the team with 5. That's very nice. Mosley had 1, Hall had 1, Williams had 1, Ashton Davis had 1, and Sauce Gardner had 1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl 28-10 to win their 3rd ever Super Bowl. Tom Brady won Super Bowl MVP. Josh Allen won MVP of the regular season with the Bills. Nathaniel Hackett won Coach of the Year with the Broncos. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams. Nick Bosa won Defensive Player of the Year with the 49ers. Defensive end Jermaine Johnson won Defensive Rookie of the Year with our Jets. Dwayne Brown retired after 15 years, and right tackle Mike Rimmers retired after 11 years, so we definitely got to replace Dwayne Brown at left tackle. We have $54 million in cap space. I'm going to offer Connor a 2-year deal. He's 30 years old, 78 overall. He only has normal dev, but he's worth it though. I'm going to go ahead and bump him up to a low risk. He still wants to go to free agency. This guy. Alright, Sheldon Rankins, moving on from him. George Fant, he only wants $6 million. I think I'm just going to wait and go to free agency. Bryce Huff, I do want to bring him back. Let's try offering him a 3-year deal. You know what? Yeah, let's just go 3-year. That's a good offer. Glad you got the deal done. Quan Alexander, moving on from him. Pretty much everyone else, I'm going to be moving on from them unless they have star dev, but I don't think that anybody does. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Breece Hall's up to 85. Garrett Wilson got superstar dev. That's nice to see. We're definitely going to have to do some work on the offensive line because we can't have a tight end Uzomah starting at left guard. Kai Becton is still injured for 14 more weeks. What the heck? So yeah, we definitely need another left tackle because Tomlinson was playing left guard. I don't know why they have him over there. And Vera Tucker was playing right guard. So we need a left tackle and we need a center for sure. Wide receiver, I think we're good. Running back, we're obviously really good there. Defensively, we need some outside linebackers, and CJ Mosley's already down to an 80. Dang, he's starting to fall off quick. Defensive line is solid for a while. Could maybe use another corner, but still give it what we have. So 2 outside linebackers and offensive line for sure. Free agency, we filled the holes that we needed to. We got an 81 overall. TJ Edwards at left outside linebacker. He is 27 years old with normal dev. We got a kicker, Will Lutz, 78 overall. Bringing Connor McGovern back at center on a cheaper deal than what I was offering him. Nobody else was interested in him, so he should have taken the offer that I sent him before he went to free agency. Also getting Bulaga to play right tackle, or yeah, he's probably going to be playing right tackle for us for 1 year. 78 overall. And then Anthony Walker, 78 overall outside linebacker. Here in the first round of the draft, we have pick number 6, and all the top players that are available are all like defensive ends, quarterbacks, stuff like that that we don't need. So I'm gonna trade down to get. I'm gonna trade with the Raiders right here and get their first round pick, number 14, and then pick up a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick in this year's draft. Here we are at pick number 14 that we traded with for the Raiders to get. I'm just looking at this middle linebacker. That's the guy that I was wanting to get, and I was hoping he was still going to be here, and he is. I have this left tackle 100% scouted, but he's a 1 to 2nd round true talent. So I'm going to take a chance on this middle linebacker. He could be the replacement at middle linebacker that we need. He's 6'2", 252 pounds. He has elite agility with elite jumping and good speed. Skills wise, we know for sure he has B block shed, A hit power, B play rec, and B tackle. Hidden dev, 86 speed, nice. CJ Mosley's replacement right there. Still in the first round, we have pick number 28 that we traded for from the Lions. I'm assuming they got that from someone else. We got Doug McAllister here at free safety. He is a hybrid scheme fit, 5'9", 220 pounds. We only got him 50% scouted, but he doesn't look so great as an athlete. He's like solid and everything. He has great speed and decent strength. But what I like is the fact that he has man coverage as a B, as a free safety. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a chance on him. Normal dev, go figure. Here in the second round, we have pick number 6. I'm gonna draft this left tackle, George Tafoya. He's an agile scheme fit. He's still here because I'm pretty sure it's because of the fact that he has D for his pass block power, but he has A and B and everything else. So he has elite agility, elite change of direction. It's the second round. We need another left tackle or a right tackle, so I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. He has hidden dev, nice. Still in the second round, pick number 14. I think it's the pick that we got from the Raiders in that trade. We're going to draft Jose Bradley. He's a right outside linebacker, run stopper. Got him 95% scouted. The 2 linebackers I signed in free agency are basically just a 1-year patch, so hopefully this guy can be a long-term answer. 23 years old, he's 6 foot, 244 pounds. He does have elite acceleration, elite change of direction, and elite speed, so he's a hell of an athlete. He has B awareness. His finesse move is only a D, but we don't need him rushing the passer. He has A pursuit, A tackle, B zone coverage. Normal dev, he does have 86 speed with 90 acceleration. This center, Evan Cruz, he's only 50% scouted, but he has A and a few things that we know for sure. He has great acceleration, good agility, great change of direction with good speed. He has A impact block, A pass block power with A stamina. His run block is only a C, well, it's run block finesse. We're gonna take a chance on him. He has hidden dev, 86 strength. Checking out the draft recap, first round pick, middle linebacker is only a 72 overall. That seems to be the theme with all the draft picks that we had. There's not anybody that's like a high 70, but they're all pretty solid though, I guess. 72 overall, he does have hidden dev. Probably just gonna be backing up Mosley for this season. McAllister, 72 overall, free safety. He did not have hidden dev, so that's not looking good for his long term. This left tackle, Tafoya, 72 overall. He did have hidden dev. And then right outside linebacker, 73 overall, drafted in the second round. He only had normal dev as well, but he has a pretty decent overall for second round pick. Third round pick, center, 73 overall, hidden dev, so that's probably the best pick that we made. Let the computer draft the rest of the people. Apparently we had 18 sixth round picks here, so I haven't looked at any of these guys. Some of them might have hidden dev, but I'm not sure. I'll check out this wide receiver real quick. 68 overall, normal dev. This is what the draft recap's looking like for the entire NFL. The number 1 overall pick was a quarterback from Boise State, 76 overall. And then, like I said, there was a bunch of defensive ends and quarterbacks. The Raiders traded up to get this right tackle. I did have him fully scouted, but he was only projected to be like, I think, first or second round. So I don't want to waste the number 6 pick on him unless he was like a for sure first round pick or even a top 5. And then there was a quarterback drafted. This wide receiver, Seahawks drafted. He's only a 65 overall. That sucks for them. Well, let's see what the highest overall was. 77. There was 2 of them. And then there's a 76 in the second round. A 76 running back in the second round. This is what the team is looking like for the start of season 2. We finally got Mekhi Becton back. I moved him to left tackle to protect the blind side. We brought Bulaga in free agency, so he's going to be starting at right tackle. He's already like 35, so it's going to be a 1-year thing. The 2 offensive linemen that we drafted are lower overall, so I'm just going to let them be behind as backups and develop for a season. Zach Wilson is a 76 overall with star dev. Breece Hall's playing up to 85. Garrett Wilson's 83 with superstar. Defensively, we still got Mosley at middle linebacker. I'm going to let Patton play behind him and try to develop. Davis is a 75. Whitehead went up to star dev. That's nice to see. And defensively, the defensive line is definitely the strength of the team. Sauce Gardner is up to 84 with star. Reed is up to 83 but still has normal dev. And Bryce Hall is up to 79 with star dev. I'm going to stick with the regular playbooks that the Jets have one more time for one more season and see how things go. and determine if I want to change it or not. Not off to a great start once again. We're 3-4. The Bills and the Dolphins are 5-2, and the Patriots are 1-5. See what players we have to bring back here in free agency, or I guess players available to re-sign. Got $72 million in cap space. Got a couple of guys here we gotta think about. There's a few guys actually. Yeah, we're gonna have to spread this money out a little bit. All right, we for sure want to bring Quentin Williams back. He's only 25 years old. He's 87 overall with Star Dev. He wants 3 years, $45 million. I'm gonna bump him up to a 4-year deal and see he's coming back. Corey Davis is 28 years old. I'm gonna move on from him because he's gonna start regressing from this point. Bryce Hall is 25 with Star Dev, 80 overall. Definitely want to bring him back. Let's try this 4-year deal. He doesn't seem very interested, but we'll see. Yeah, he wants a bigger offer. All right, Jordan Whitehead's 26 years old, 80 overall, Star Dev. I'm gonna hold off on him. I'm gonna consider bringing him back, but I want to try to upgrade the safety to someone that's in the high 80s or low 90s. Mekhi Becton, definitely want to bring him back. 3 years, $36 million. He's pretty interested in coming back, so I'll just offer that. He's coming back. Bulaga was a 1-year thing. Anthony Walker was a 1-year thing. Ashton Davis, I have to wait till week 9. Finished 6-11, so another not so great year. We're gonna have to do something about the playbook on offense. 23rd in the NFL, yeah, not looking so great. Defensively, 13th, so the defense not terrible. It's starting to come along, but the offense, what the heck? All right, so Zach Wilson got injured. How many games did this guy play in? 13. So he only missed 4 games. And in those 4 games, Driscoll threw for 1,100 yards. See, Zach Wilson, 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 62% with a 94 rating. Driscoll did 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions with a 105 rating. Rushing, Breece Hall had 1,200 yards, 4.2 per carry with 6 touchdowns. Michael Carter had almost 400 yards, 3.3 per carry. It's not great. 10 rushing touchdowns though. Receiving, the tight end led the team with 1,000 yards. Wow, 7 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson almost had 1,000 yards, did have 10 touchdowns. Corey Davis, 890 yards, 5 touchdowns. Elijah Moore had 837 yards with 6 touchdowns. Defensively, CJ Mosley led the team in tackles with 119. Bryce Huff had the most TFLs with Quentin Williams at 9. John Franklin Myers led the team in sacks with 15 from the defensive tackle spot. Very nice. Quentin Williams had 5. Jermaine Johnson only had 4. Bryce Huff had 3.5. I did see that Quentin Williams was on the injury report at one time. Yeah, he only played in 11 games. And he put up 5 sacks. DJ Reed led the team in interceptions with 3. Sauce Gardner had 2. Jordan Whitehead had 2. Davis had 1. Walker had 1. Edwards had 1. Carter had 1, and Jose Bradley, the rookie, had 1. We're going to stick with the West Coast zone run, which is the scheme for the Jets, but we're going to change the playbook to Green Bay and see if we can get some more passing going on here. The Giants beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl 20-13 to win their 5th Super Bowl, and their quarterback Warren Davis won Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts won MVP of the regular season. Nick Sirianni won Coach of the Year with the Eagles. Jalen Hurts won Offensive Player of the Year as well. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Browns. We have $59 million in cap space. I'm not going to bring Corey Davis back. He's 29 years old, so he's going to start regressing. Bryce Hall, I do want to bring him back. I know I offered him a deal, but he turned it down. We offered him a 4-year deal, and he turned it down, so let's go to a 5-year deal. He's coming back. Jordan Whitehead, I'm going to move on from him and see if we can upgrade the safety's position. Bulaga, I'm moving on from him. He's a 1-year patch. Dang, Ashton Davis fell off to normal dev. Well, definitely don't want to bring him back now. Anthony Walker was a 1-year thing. Braxton Berrios, moving on from him. Pretty much moving on from all these guys. I guess I can bring the punter back. He wants to test free agency. Alright. Jeff Driscoll did amazing for us, but he's only a 61 overall, so hard pass. Checking out the team salaries, CJ Mosley is down to a 76 overall. He's 32 years old. He's got 1 year left on his deal. He's gonna make $21 million, but if we go ahead and cut him, we're gonna save $17 million. I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just move on from him. See you later, sayonara. And then there was somebody else, Laken Tomlinson. He is on the last year of his deal, and he's gonna make $17 million. If we get rid of him, we're gonna save $13 million. And we have those 2 offensive linemen we drafted last year that they both have normal dev. And I'm going to go ahead and release Laken Tomlinson, moving on from him, freeing up some cap space so we can try to upgrade some other positions. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. We got that left guard Cruz starting, and then Tafoya is going to be starting at right tackle. So that's why we moved on from Laken Tomlinson and from Brian Bulaga. Running back's good. Wide receiver, we could use a third wide receiver. We're definitely good at tight end for now. Defensively, where we need to make the biggest moves here, we could use another outside linebacker. We definitely need 2 safeties, and we could use another corner because Sauce Gardner's, well, he's actually 85, but he's playing down to 83. Raise morale by winning games. We're trying, man. All right, so definitely need 2 safeties. I want to try to get 2 like really, really good safeties. Free agency, it went okay. It didn't go great, I guess, but we got T. Higgins at wide receiver. He's 88 overall with star dev. He's 25 years old. We also got Chidobe Awuzie, 86 overall cornerback. Shaq Thompson, right outside linebacker, 80 overall. And then at safety, I tried to get 2 better safeties. I tried to get Cameron Curl. He was at 84 overall, but he turned us down. So I had to settle for Terrell Burgess, and Ashton Davis is coming back as well. I'm going to try to upgrade them through the draft or maybe even trade for someone. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Looking at the prospects, and this cornerback, I just got him 100% scouted, and he's a true top 5 talent. He's a man-to-man scheme fit with A zone coverage and A man coverage. So I'm going to do whatever I need to do to make sure that I get him. I'm not going to pass this guy up. Patriots have the #1 pick, so they're willing to let me get that from them for my 1st round pick this year, 2nd round pick, and 6th round picks this year as well. I'm going to go ahead and do it, make sure I get that cornerback #1 overall. Jadavion Watson, man-to-man, top 5 true talent, coming over here to the Jets. He has good to solid to great on stuff, so he's not necessarily an amazing athlete, but he has A in a lot of things on here, so he's coming to the Jets. Hidden dev, 94 speed. He's 5'9", 195 pounds. This cornerback we drafted #1 overall is 80 overall. That's nice to see. And the rest of these guys, they all have normal dev. And let's see what the rest of the NFL draft is looking like. We got the highest guy, 80 overall. That's good to see. And then there was a running back in the 3rd round that was a 77 overall. Wide receiver in the 2nd round that was a 76 overall. See what they look like in order by pick. Left tackle was only a 73, 71, 72, so I think it was worth it to trade away those picks to get the highest overall player coming out of the draft. For the start of season 3, Zach Wilson's up to a 77 overall. We brought in T. Higgins to be wide receiver #1. Garrett Wilson, 86 overall, superstar, is wide receiver #2, and then Moore is going to be wide receiver 3 with 83 overall. The offensive line is looking pretty decent. They're going to keep developing. Still pretty young. Tight end's looking okay right now. Defensively, I made some moves. I put Awuzie as strong safety, and he's an 87 overall. We really needed help at strong safety. I don't want McAllister, a 73 overall guy, starting, so I felt like the smartest thing to do, since we were cornerback rich, was to move him there. And then that cornerback that we drafted #1 overall, I moved him to free safety, and he's actually a scheme fit 81 overall. So I bumped him up from an 80 to 81. His tackling is a 70, so still pretty decent. Sauce Gardner's up to 85 overall. He's not mad because we're not losing games yet, but when the season starts, he'll probably drop down because we're going to start losing. I'm joking. Hopefully we'll win some games. Reed's at 83 overall, and then Hall is 80 overall. Defensive line is still looking pretty decent. The middle linebackers are looking better than they have, so I'm expecting good things. The defense has been progressing pretty well. Offensively, we changed the playbook to Green Bay, so hopefully Zach Wilson can get us to the playoffs. Season point, we're off to a better start. We're 4-3, second in the division at this point. The Patriots are 5-2. The Bills and the Dolphins are both 2-5. The rookie safety has superstar X factor. That's what I like to see. He's playing up to, well, he's actually 83 overall. He's playing down to an 82 overall for some reason. But he has 94 speed, 83 coverage for zone, and 81 man coverage. He actually has 82, but his morale's down for some reason right now. But yeah, we drafted him #1 overall as a cornerback, and he looks like he's flourishing as a safety, or should be. $84 million in cap space. We got Elijah Moore, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, Conklin. I think that we're going to have Zach Wilson right there. I turned down his 5th-year option because he was still in the 70s, so I thought it would be cheaper to try to sign him to a longer-term deal right now when he's still in the 70s. But yeah, so Elijah Moore, definitely want to try to bring him back. He's only 24 years old and he's up to 84 overall with star dev. He's not extremely interested, so I'm gonna bump him up to a 4-year deal. He's coming back. DJ Reed Jr., he is 84 overall with normal dev. I'll go ahead and bring him back. He's been pretty decent for us. If he wants to sign this 3-year deal, yep, he's coming back. Michael Carter, backup running back, 4 years, 14 mil. That's not terrible. 3.5 mil per year for a backup. No, he wants more years. Conklin, he's been good for us at tight end, but probably gonna wait and see how he is at the end of the year. Try to bring this kicker back real quick. No, he doesn't want to come back. End of the regular season, we finished 10-7 and we won the division, going to the playoffs for the first time. Patriots went 8-9, Bills went 8-9, and the Dolphins went 6-11. Let's see what happened here with the stats. We got the 26th ranked offense, so it definitely wasn't the offense that won us some games. Defensively 21st too, so the heck, I don't understand, man. Zach Wilson, 4,100 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 62% completion with a 97 rating. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Breece Hall, 1,100 yards, 4.4 per carry with 12 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson had the most yards, 1,100 with 7 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 1,100 with 6 touchdowns, and Elijah Moore had 700 with 7 touchdowns. Defensively, Shaq Thompson and TJ Edwards both led the team in tackles with 129 each. TFL's Quentin Williams had 14, Johnson had 13, and Franklin Myers had 12 sacks. Jermaine Johnson led the team with 14.5. Nice. Franklin Myers had 12, and Quentin Williams had 11. Bryce Huff had 9, so that might be why we won all these games. We're finally getting some sack production from our defensive line. Sauce Gardner had 4 interceptions. Shaq Thompson had 3. Bryce Hall had 2. Edwards had 1. Awuzie had 1. Michael Carter had 1, and the rookie had 1. Going to be playing against the 11-6 Denver Broncos in the wild card round. We also have the Titans against the Browns, the Chiefs against the Jaguars, with the Ravens getting a first round bye week. Playing in New York for the wild card round. In the first quarter, we're up 7-0. Second quarter, still 7-0. Low scoring game. Denver finally ties it up 7-0. Now they're up 14-7. We're losing. Fourth quarter, we're still losing we were losing 24-7, now 24-14. Y'all gonna try to come back now or no? And we lost the game 24-14. First playoff game, got knocked out. Commanders beat the Baltimore Ravens in the Super Bowl 28-26 to win their 4th ever Super Bowl. Malachi Bonds, their quarterback, won Super Bowl MVP. Malachi, that's a heck of a name. Lane Cooper, quarterback for the Buccaneers, won MVP of the regular season. Kyle Shanahan won Coach of the Year with the 49ers. Cooper Kupp won Offensive Player of the Year with the Rams for the 800th time. TJ Watt won Defensive Player of the Year with the Steelers. We got $89 million in cap space. We do need to try to bring back Zach Wilson. He wants 5 years, $135 million. Let's see, about $27 million per year. I guess that's not too bad. Definitely gonna offer it to him. All right, he's coming back. We got $65 million left, so definitely Connor McGovern want to bring him back. He wants 1 year, almost $6 million. That's not bad. He's coming back. Michael Carter, 3 years, $10 million. We offered him a deal the last time, but he turned it down. Let's offer him a 3-year deal and see what he says. Now he's gonna sign a 3-year deal. Earlier we offered him a 4-year deal, and he was like, "No, I'm good." We try to bring the kicker back again. Last time we turned the deal down. Let's go with the low risk offer. He wants to go to free agency. All right. Cornerback Michael Carter, probably moving on from him. This is what the team is looking like before free agency. Basically, the only thing that we need is a tight end pretty much on offense. Everything else is good. Elijah Moore is playing up to 88 along with Garrett Wilson, so we have like 3 legit #1 receivers. So Zach Wilson needs to get him the damn ball. Defensively, not looking too shabby over here either. We saw that Watson had X factor. Awuzie still playing, well, he's playing down to a 86 because we're not winning more games for him. But I think overall we're pretty much set on both sides of the ball. I guess maybe we could try to upgrade the middle linebacker spot, but let's see what free agency is looking like. I'll probably try to get like 1 or 2 of the best players available if I can. Free agency, I'm bringing in Matt Milano at linebacker. He's an 84 overall with star dev. I'm going to move on to middle linebacker to upgrade that position. And at tight end, the only guy that I could get was Adam Trotman. And I tried to get Greg Rousseau. I offered him a huge deal, and us and the Seattle Seahawks were the top ones, and he decided to go with Seattle instead. I actually offered him a 6-year deal. Seattle only offered him a 3-year deal, so I guess he just really wanted to go to that side of the world. Trading up in the first round to get first round pick number 13 from the Patriots. They want my first and 6th round pick next year. I'm gonna get a tight end that I like a lot, so we can try to upgrade that position. His name is Daniel Gore. He's a vertical threat. We got him 90% completed on the scouting. He is 22 years old. He has great acceleration, great agility, elite change of direction, elite strength with great speed. He has A and a whole bunch of stuff, so drafting him right now. He has hidden dev. He's 83 speed. We do have another first round pick, number 22. I'm going to draft this outside linebacker, Dante McAllister. He's a run stopper. We only have him 50% scouted, but I'm going to go ahead and take a chance on him. He has elite acceleration, elite speed. He has B block shed, B hit power with A play rec, and B zone coverage. We don't know what his tackle is, but it could be B between an A and a C. He has hidden dead with 87 speed, freaking fast for a dude that's 6 foot 248. Here in the second round, I'm looking at this defensive end. His name is Devontae Gamble. I think I'm going to go ahead and gamble on Gamble. He is 6'4", 267 pounds. He is 21 years old. He has elite acceleration with great speed, great strength, and great change of direction. He runs the fastest 40 of all the defensive ends. We need him to get to the quarterback, so he has normal dev, 83 speed. Checking out the draft recap, the tight end we drafted in the first round is a 75 overall. We did see that he has hidden dev. He's definitely going to be the starting tight end for us. Left outside linebacker is a 74 overall with hidden dev as well. He might start for us, we'll have to see. And the defensive end that I drafted in the second round, he's a 74 overall. He does only have normal dev, but he's only 21 years old, so he does have plenty of room to improve. The computer drafted everyone else. They drafted this quarterback, Jonathan Connell, in the third round, 67 overall with hidden dev, coming out of Central Arkansas, 5'11". Looks like Zach Wilson got some competition at quarterback. The entire NFL draft recap, the number 1 overall pick was a 77 overall left outside linebacker. And he was also the highest overall in the entire draft. The Texans got him a running back in the 4th round. That's a 76 overall. Does he have hidden dev? No. This is what the team is looking like for the start of season 4. Zach Wilson is up to a 79 overall. He has star dev. Breece Hall is up to a 90 overall with star dev. Higgins is a 91 overall. He fell off to a star dev. He did have superstar, I think. Moore is up to 88 overall with star. Garrett Wilson has superstar with 88 overall. Kai Becton still has superstar is 84 overall. Elijah Vera Tucker is up to 87 overall with star dev. Gore is going to be starting at tight end over Trotman. He's 77 overall as a rookie with a hidden div. Defensively, the free safety Watson is up to 85 overall, still has X factor. I moved Milano to middle linebacker so he can be an upgrade over Patton. Hopefully he can make a difference on this defense. Awuzie is up to 87 overall at strong safety. The defensive tackle is definitely the strength of this team, 90 overall and 88 overall. Sauce Gardner's up to 87 overall with star dev. Reed has been holding his overall into the mid 80s, but he still only has normal dev. And then Hall is 82 overall with star dev. Not off to a great start this season. We are 2-4, last in the division. The Dolphins and Patriots are 4-3, and the Jets are 3-3. We have $75 million in cap space. Breece Hall's deal is up. He's 24 years old, 90 overall with star dev. Definitely want to bring him back. He wants 5 years, $33 million, roughly $6.5 million per year. He's coming back. Easy peasy. John Franklin Myers, 28 years old. Definitely going to bring him back on a 2-year deal. He's coming back. Chidobe Awuzie, definitely want to bring him back. I'm going to go ahead and try to sign him right now. He's not extremely interested, but I'm offering. Yeah, he said he could find a better deal in free agency. Blah, 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 blah. Elijah Vera Tucker, 26 years old, scheme fit, 85 overall. Definitely want to try to bring him back. He's coming back. Jermaine Johnson, 26 years old, 81 overall star dev. I'll give him a 2-year deal. Finish off the rebuild with him. He's coming back. Bryce Huff, probably going to move on from him and try to upgrade that position. End of the regular season, we had our worst season yet. We went 5-11-1. We got a tie. What the heck, man? 23rd on offense, so yeah, we're gonna have to make some big changes here. Defense 19th, so the defense is starting to fall off now. Zach Wilson threw for 4,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 60% completion with a 91 rating, so that's a very terrible year. Breece Hall had 1,100 yards, 4.2 per carry with 9 touchdowns. Pretty good production from him. Elijah Moore, 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. T. Higgins, 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns. Garrett Wilson had 757 yards, 3 touchdowns. The heck, man? The computer always messes with the depth chart. Troutman had 592 yards with 5 touchdowns, and the rookie tight end that I made the starter, but they changed, had 228 yards, 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Matt Milano led the team in tackles with 157. Quentin Williams had 19 TFLs. Franklin Myers had 17. And sacks. We had a bunch of production last year, but this year, not so much. We had a few guys with 5, or 2 guys with 5, and a couple with 4, 4.5. Milano had 3 interceptions. Awuzie had 3. Watson had 2, and a few other guys had 1. Switching the offense to a West Coast power run, and the Kansas City Chiefs playbook is a power run West Coast, so we're going to see if that makes a difference. Defensively, I'm switching to Chicago's playbook. I've used their playbook before in other rebuilds, and they typically do pretty well. How you know you're in a simulation when Washington wins 2 Super Bowls in a row. They beat the Colts 24-16 to win their 5th Super Bowl. Darnay Holmes won Super Bowl MVP. Their quarterback, Malachi Bonds, won MVP of the regular season for the 2nd year in a row. Lewis Fox won Coach of the Year with the Commanders. Malachi Bonds won Offensive Player of the Year with the Commanders. Myles Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year with the Browns. I'm going to go check out this Malachi Bonds guy and see just how good he is, because apparently he's freaking amazing. Last year he was a rookie. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year and MVP and won a Super Bowl. Alright, well apparently he's pretty damn good. He's 99 overall, 25 years old, and he's an X Factor. So he didn't win Rookie of the Year last year like I thought, but I think that he did the years before. Let me see his, dang, look at his stats. 5,500 yards, 53 touchdowns. And then he threw for 5,400 yards with 55 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So yeah, this dude's a baller for real. Check out his awards. He was a #1 overall pick in 2023. He has 3 Pro Bowl appearances. League leader in passing rating 1 time. He was the Offensive Rookie of the Year in 23, MVP in 25, Offensive Player of the Year in 25, and Best Quarterback in 25. Chidobe Awuzie is 31, 86 overall with Star Dev. He wants a 3-year deal for $9 million per year. He ended up signing the deal. He's coming back to the team. Moving on from Bryce Huff. Moving on from Burgess. Moving on from this guy. This is what the team is looking like before free agency, and look at this. The tight end Gore has superstar dev, but they're like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and start Troutman over him because he's so much better. Freaking computer. So let me go ahead and switch him out real quick and make him the starter. I'm gonna have to do it again like 8 more times. Probably just have to trade away Troutman to make sure that he's a starter. I mean, the offense looks pretty freaking good altogether. I mean, I think the only thing that's holding us back is Zach Wilson. If you put Tom Brady or freaking Aaron Rodgers or any other quarterback, Josh Allen, in here with this exact same setup, they'll be out here winning. We do need to get a new center. Defensively, Milano lost his star dev, and he already dropped down to 81 overall. So we might need to upgrade the middle linebacker spot. Need another right outside linebacker possibly, and we definitely need another defensive end. So let's see what we can do on free agency. I'm bringing in DeForest Buckner. He's the 89 overall X Factor. Probably going to move him to defensive end, or maybe move one of the other defensive tackles to defensive end. Bringing in a kicker. I'm also getting Devin Bush at middle linebacker. He's the 83 overall. Getting a punter, and then Andrew Norwell was the best offensive lineman that I could get. I'm moving him to center, or maybe one of the other guys to center. Since we didn't have a first round pick, I just went ahead and simulated the entire draft. The computer drafted this defensive tackle in the 2nd round. He's a 75 overall, and he does have hidden dev, so that's a nice pickup. And this free safety they drafted in the 3rd round, he's 72 overall with normal dev. This is what the team is looking like for the 5th and final season. Zach Wilson is up to 80 overall with star dev. He just never developed. It's one of the issues that Madden has, is that these quarterbacks that are in like their 2nd or 3rd year, they just never develop. They can have star dev, but they just stay around like 77 to 82. Hall is up to a 92 overall with star dev. Higgins is 92 with star. Moore is a 90 with star, and Wilson's a 90 with star. So we have plenty of weapons for Zach Wilson, including the superstar dev tight end Gore, who's 79 overall. I went ahead and I just cut Troutman so the computer couldn't put him up there. Offensive line is looking pretty good overall. Defensively, the weakest spot is this outside linebacker, but I don't think that he actually gets on the field that often. We brought Devin Bush in, and we have Milano backing him up. And we brought in DeForest Buckner. He's an X factor, 92 overall. So what is it? Let's see this right here. That's the issue with Madden too. Quentin Williams and DeForest Buckner are both 92 overall. DeForest Buckner has X factor, but it's like, all right, we're gonna go ahead and start the guy that only has star dev over top of him, even though that they have the same like overall. But this guy is obviously a better dev trait. But whatever, it is what it is. But I think the defense is looking pretty good overall. We changed the playbook to Chicago, and then offensively we changed the playbook again to Kansas City. So this is the 5th and final year. It's Super Bowl or bust. At the midseason point, we are 3-4, tied for last in the division. The Dolphins are 5-1, and the Bills are 5-2, simulating to the end of the season to see if we made it to the playoffs. End of the regular season, unfortunately, we did not make the playoffs. We went 8-9, so I guess we should have made a playbook change earlier in the season, or the rebuild. 26 on offense, defensively 24. So yeah, we're just freaking in the bottom third on everything. Zach Wilson only threw for 3,900 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And he played in all 17 games, so I don't know why the backup quarterback's coming in. That seems to be like a new trend on Madden, where the backup comes in and plays even though the other guy that started didn't get hurt. Breece Hall had 885 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4.9 per carry. Michael Carter had like the most carries he ever had, 489 yards, 3.9 per carry with 5 touchdowns. Receiving, Elijah Moore had 1,147 with 10 touchdowns. T. Higgins had 875 with 8 touchdowns. Daniel Gore, the tight end, had 800 yards with 4 touchdowns. And Garrett Wilson had 700 yards with 7 touchdowns. Defensively, Devin Bush led the team in tackles with 155. And Matt Milano, for some reason, got a lot of playing time with 110 tackles. DeForest Buckner had 15 TFLs. Quentin Williams had 11. Quentin Williams led the team in sacks with 8.5. DeForest Buckner had 8. Johnson had 7.5, and Franklin Myers only had 3.5 from the defensive end spot. Sauce Gardner had 3 interceptions. Jadavion Watson had 3. Bryce Hall had 2. Devin Bush had 2. Shaq Thompson had 2. Reed had 1, and Awuzie had 1. The Raiders beat the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl 24-17 to win their 4th Super Bowl. Jose Smiley, their middle linebacker, won Super Bowl MVP. Desmond Ridder won NFL MVP with the Raiders for the regular season. What the heck? Doug Peterson won Coach of the Year with the Jaguars. Chris Godwin won Offensive Player of the Year with the Buccaneers. Aaron Donald's still playing. He won Defensive Player of the Year with the Rams. And apparently the Rams got them a quarterback, Kurt Gafford. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. This is what the final team looks like. Unfortunately, we only made it to the playoffs one time. You know, we have an 88 overall team, as you can see right here. We have an 88 offense, 88 defense, so we're 88 overall. Can't even make the playoffs. I think that we had a pretty good team for most of the rebuild. Definitely Zach Wilson holding us back. Only 80 overall at quarterback. We didn't really get great production from him. Let me look at his stats real quick and see. Yeah, his best season was 2024 when he had a 97 rating. So I personally feel like quarterback should have around a 101 to 100 range quarterback rating, and probably throwing for upwards of 40 touchdowns and less than 10 or maybe 15 interceptions at the most. He didn't really throw a lot of interceptions, but he didn't really throw a lot of touchdowns either. So yeah, he definitely held us back. I mean, I guess we could have tried to change the playbook earlier and the rebuild and see if we can find something else that fit them better. Defensively, the defensive line was freaking nasty the entire time, but we only got really good production out of them one year. They had a few guys with like 10 or 12 sacks, but the rest of the time it wasn't so great. So that's gonna be it for the video. If you like what you saw, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video, say something in the comments. Appreciate everyone for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.